back to the channel, guys. So this is episode 2. We're going to run through our bedroom and the work that we did on the bedroom from start to finish. I'll go through roughly how much it cost and or the DIY that was involved in it. First up, we started with steaming off the wallpaper. All the wallpaper in this house is wood chip wallpaper. If you've ever worked with wood chip wallpaper before, you understand the issues that we went through trying to get it off. It is a nightmare, it doesn't come off in big streaks, so you're working at it for a while trying to get it off. As I mentioned in the first video, you can see that the woman who owned this house used to smoke in her bedroom. When we were steaming it, there was just tar and droplets of tar everywhere. The walls were going completely brown. So you can see in these snippets that my wife and my father-in-law, they did all the walls, left me to do the ceiling, which I think arguably the ceiling was the worst part, because when you're standing underneath it, it's just dripping on your face, and it was horrible. I wanted to get a hazmat suit by the end of it. So there we have the room after we finished scraping all the wallpaper off. Next up was our electrician came in, raggled the walls and put the new electrics in for us. For our bedside lamps, we wanted lamps that we could flick the switch on, and like a hotel. Next up, we had our plasterer who came in. So again, we were renovating on a budget. So instead of getting every wall plastered, we were kind of just picking and choosing, you know, the worst walls. So a plaster came in at £300. Next job we had was just painting the whole room with white emulsion, and then putting on our new lamps that we got from Dunelm. After this, we then tried some testers on the wall. We ended up not going with any of them shown and going with one called Cancun from B&Q. I've got some photos there of the lamps with the new paint on them. And then there's a photo of me after we were done that, pretending that the bed was in and I was sleeping. Next up we had skirting, so we bought the skirting boards and I laid them out, cut them, lay them out, and then painted them. And then we siliconed them and stuck them on. The next thing was the TV wall unit. I kept seeing these adverts pop up for floating wall units with acoustic panels, and I really liked the idea of that, with a bit of white MDF and then LED lights behind it, and the TV bolted onto that. So I decided I was going to try and give that a go myself. When I went to look, I found the acoustic wall paneling in B&Q, but it was pretty expensive, £80 per one, and I assumed that I'd probably need at least 2 of them. Also, the B&Q ones I've seen online, the felt that's on the back of them is actually just glued on, so a lot of the time the individual slats come off. So I went online, did a bit of research and found a company, British Home Stores, and they were selling them for £35 each, and it showed that each one was stapled into place, so you wouldn't have that issue. So I ended up ordering 2 of them, which cost me £70. Now we have the build of it. So initially I was figuring out how we were going to set up. Was I going to have 2 side by side? Ended up going with 1 on the side and then 1 round the corner on the alcove. So siliconed them to the wall. Well, sorry, first off I cut out the holes for our sockets and then siliconed them to the wall. I then measured a standard TV size and cut a bit of MDF slightly larger than it so it would have a border. I then painted that white, and I found the wall stud, put another bit of MDF so that it would give a gap between the acoustic panelling and the MDF, and then I screwed the MDF onto that, and I got LED strips off Amazon Marketplace. I think they were like £7. So as promised, here's our totals. There was 1 or 2 things that I forgot to mention in the video, for example the carpets, but I've added them in to the totals here, and our final total comes out to £1,184. So currently this is how our room is looking. This room is pretty much finished in the house. Don't think there's much else to be done. Apart from currently we have the alcove for our dog bed there. We're going to turn that into a makeup table for my wife at some point. But yeah, this room's about 90% complete. I thought I would just show you what it looks like with the curtains closed and in the evenings with the television there.